you're investing in small businesses, you know it can take a really long time to find a good deal. The average search fund actually takes around 2 years to find and acquire a single deal. And if you know the space, you know that's actually not even a crazy long time to find a deal, especially when you're doing proprietary deal sourcing. But what if I told you that you can get all of this done in half the time? Well, today I'm going to show you how to cut your SMB deal sourcing time in half using clay.com. And this is the same method that I used to source deals that resulted in LOIs in under 6 months for 3 different of my search fund clients. So you're probably wondering, what is Clay? And if you know what Clay is already, you're probably curious to see how I'm using it for deal sourcing. If you don't know, clay.com is an AI prospecting tool with hundreds of use cases, but in deal sourcing, we can use it to automate deal research and data gathering, as well as outreach to potential acquisition targets. We use it in several ways to cut deal sourcing time in half, and today I'll be going over 3 use cases that we use regularly and how to do them. So today I'll be going over creating a list of Google Maps and local business data, searching for specific keywords on company websites, and finding key contact information at scale. So let me show you exactly how we do this. So the first one is getting Google Maps data. And something that's awesome about Clay is that they have this feature here called Find Local Businesses, which will automatically bring you to this feature that allows you to scrape Google Maps. The reason why this is so good is, especially when you're looking for SMBs, most of the time they're not going to come up on these super popular databases like Apollo or like Zoom Info, because for the most part, these are small local businesses that may or may not have a LinkedIn presence, which, for example, is the data that Apollo pulls from. If they're pulling LinkedIn data and most of the small businesses don't have LinkedIn, you're going to be missing out on a ton of data. But for the most part, local businesses will always have some sort of presence available on Google Maps. And that's why it's actually one of the best sources that you can use if you are trying to find local businesses. So if you know which geography you are looking into, then you can put that into the location query here. Since I'm based in Manhattan, I will keep it on New York City for now. So let's put it in here. You can change a proximity radius. We're looking for businesses, so I put in business types, and I'm going to type in spa here. Optionally, you can limit your number of results to a certain amount. Since we're just doing a sample today, I will limit it to 30. So let's create a new blank table. And as you can see, it's instantly pulled in 30 different spas that are in the geography that I'm looking for. You can do this at scale with thousands of businesses and in a larger geography than I did as well. Something that's really cool about these results is that it also will pull in their Google rating and review count, which is a data point that I look at with almost every single one of my search fund clients as being a good indicator to the quality, sometimes the age of the business. If they have a lot of reviews, it's probably going to be an older business if we're not able to get information on founded date. But there is so much more that we can do with this. And so one that I'm going to demonstrate to you today is we're going to search for a keyword on the websites of all of these businesses. So an example use case that I've seen come up a lot when I'm doing proprietary sourcing for firms is that a really good way to assess a business sometimes is to see how many licensed professionals that they have at their firm. So in the case of spas, the relevant licensures might be an esthetician. Something that you can look at whether these spas have doctors on staff, because a lot of times they will have doctors that are plastic surgeons, and that might give you an indicator as to the sophistication of the workforce or the type of business that you're looking for, or maybe having a lot of doctors on staff indicates to you as a fund that you're able to benefit them in some additional way. So in this column, you can add enrichments, and a really easy way that you can do this, and you can play around with this in many ways, is this use AI feature. So I'm going to put in a prompt here. For each website, and I'm pulling in this variable here for website. Search how many times each keyword mentioned on the site. So let's test it and run this on 10 different rows. And so it has loaded here. So for example, on, I think this one's Air, Ancient Baths, there are no doctors on staff. And then on Eden Med Spa, looks like there are 3 doctors on staff. So if you go down the list, you'll see, and it will pull through for every single one of these, and you can do it at scale. And it comes through almost instantly. You can think up basically any other data point that you would like to look at scale for the data that you're working with on these local businesses to help you get the data points that you need to make a really targeted list of acquisition targets. Of course, another really big part of the proprietary sourcing game is reaching out to these business owners and making connections with them. Clay also helps you do this really easily by pulling in contact information. So no longer do we have to jump through a million hoops to find relevant contacts or go through each one of these websites manually. We can instantly pull in the relevant contact with the business owner in a few seconds here. So there is an enrichment here specifically for SMB, finding SMB contacts. So I'm going to search for that here. Oh, so I just typed in SMB find and verify, and it comes up here. So we have the information here, business name, and you'll press slash name to pull in this column as a variable. And then we also have the website in this column. So we'll pull in website, and we will run this on the first 10 rows. And what this is going to do is it's going to find either the business owner, the founder, or the CEO. Then it's going to use ChatGPT to verify that that person does still work there. And then it's going to find their contact information. So it looks like we were able to get an owner or founder name for 9 out of 10 of them. Looks like a couple of them are no longer working there, so that might require another run to find the most current founder or owner who's still there. And we were able to get work email for a few of them, but you will see this a lot if you're working with SMBs. Sometimes it's hard to find the actual owner's email, but a lot of times if it's actually a smaller business, if you reach out to an info at or contact at email, which is typically found on the site, and we can run another automation to do that, a lot of times it'll go straight to the owner. And I've only done this for the first 10. I've only done a couple of data points, but you can basically do an infinite number of data points as long as the data is out there. We're basically able to scrape it pretty instantly and at scale, even if you have lists of 10K or more businesses that you're looking at. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about how you can leverage Clay or other AI tools in your proprietary SMB search, then feel free to reach out.